Hello everyone, myself Rashi Khandelwal and I am from class 9B. Today I am here to conduct a seminar on lesson Force and Laws of Motion. From a previous lesson we know what is motion. In this lesson we will know what causes motion. Force is a pull or push which tries to change or changes the state of rest or of uniform motion of a body. Force causes motion. Balanced and unbalanced forces. When force applied on a body from both sides is equal, they get balanced, and such forces are known as balanced forces. But when a force applied from one side of a body is greater or becomes greater than the force applied from the other side, and it changes the state of rest or of motion of a body, then such forces are known as unbalanced forces. Galileo's experiment. Galileo observed that when a marble or a ball is released from the top of an inclined plane, its speed is greater than when it goes from bottom to the top of an inclined plane. He also observed if we release a marble from one side of an inclined plane, it will roll down and travel the same height it was released from. But if inclination of one plane is decreased to 0 and it becomes horizontal, and then if a ball or a marble is released from one inclined plane, it will roll down and travel further until it reaches the height it was released from. It will stop only if some external unbalanced force is acted upon it. Hence, he concluded that some external unbalanced force is needed to change the state of rest or of motion of a body. First law of motion. First law of motion states that a body will continue to be in its state of rest or of motion or of uniform motion until and unless any external unbalanced force is acted upon it. In other words, we can say the unbalanced force is needed to act on a body in order to change its state of rest or of motion. This first law of motion is also known as law of inertia. Inertia is a tendency of an object to resist the change in its state of uniform motion or of rest. Inertia of a body is directly proportional to its mass. In other words, mass of the body is its measure of its inertia. Momentum. We observe that if a bullet is fired from a gun, it can kill a person, but a single bullet, if it is not fired, it doesn't have any value. Hence, we understand that the product of the impact produced by an object is dependent on the mass as well as its velocity. Hence, Newton introduced one term named momentum. Momentum is known as the product of mass and velocity. Its mathematical formulation is momentum P is equal to mass m into velocity v. Second law of motion. Second law of motion states that the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force applied. Its mathematical formulation is force F is equal to mass m into acceleration A. Third law of motion. Newton's third law of motion states that to every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. But the action and reaction is occurred in two different bodies. Conservation of momentum. Conservation of momentum says that the momenta of two bodies, momenta is the plural of momentum, momenta of two bodies before collision is equal to momenta of two bodies after collision. That is, no unbalanced external force is acted on it. Its mathematical formulation is mass m of first body into initial velocity u of first body plus mass to m of second body into initial velocity u of second body is equal to mass m of the first body into final velocity of the first body plus mass m of the second body into final velocity v of the second body. That is m1 into u1 plus m2 into u2 is equal to m1 into v1 plus m2 into v2. With this, we have covered all points of this chapter. Thank you for watching this video.